So when you were designing this room, it feels very Clockwork Orangey to me.
Yeah. That was the point of the couch.
Was that the kind
of? So we were looking for stuff on Amazon, me and Tosh, and we were looking at all the sectionals, and I saw this one popped up, and as it started as a joke, I was like, I'm going to get that one. And she's like, you know what? I like that color. I was like, you know what? I really do too. I just was joking.
It's orange.
Yeah, it was crazy. The price was crazy, and it was just like...
How much were they?
Free delivery, $600.
Oh, wow.
Full sectional.
That's a really good deal, actually.
And the free delivery. They brought it up for me. These 3 huge boxes, 70 pounds each.
Oh, Ashley's?
No, Amazon.
Oh, and they brought it upstairs. Wow.
But Amazon literally has, I know they always had a lot of shit, but they have everything now. Like.
Oh, yeah. I've been an Amazon, what do they call it? An Amazon influencer.
An Amazonian.
I'm an Amazonian by trade. I've gotten the majority of my equipment and everything that I've done, I've purchased, by shoving away monies into a shoebox.
Yeah.
And then getting shit on Amazon.
I won't talk about my recent deliveries, probably for another type of podcast.
I like the Tetris thing. Did you get that on Amazon?
Yep. Yeah, Tosh found that. We're going to get another one because this one's shorting out. It's working right now.
Yeah, it would be cool to have like one on each side.
Yeah.
But that thing's cool too.
Between 2 ferns. Between 2
Between
tetri.
two tetri. Is that a word? Tetri? I like it.
It is now.
If it isn't, it should be. Like, what is the name of a Tetris shape? It's a tetri.
Tetri. Of course it is. You know, like when you do like the plurals or past tenses of words, like wind or wound. I always think like remind should be remound.
Remind should be rewound.
Remound.
Remound.
When you remind someone in the past tense.
Oh.
I think a lot of words like that work like that.
Wow, I really like that one. No, that's a good word.
She remounded me the other day.
I'm surprised your cat hasn't come over here yet to say hi.
Kiki. Oh. She's looking at. She's just loving all the new equipment. She can crawl in. Now she's gonna go up to her bed.
What is all this
Kiki,
stuff?
come here. Come.
She's like, I don't even care about what you all got going on right now.
I'm really surprised she's not up here.
She's like, I don't even.
Kiki, come say hi. Come here.
Hi, Kiki.
Come here.
You want to come be on the show?
Come here.
You got a seat right here. Just right here.
Here.
Oh, yeah. You look like Biggie, my girlfriend's cat.
How is is she in it right now?
Biggie? Oh, she's in the wide angle probably. Yeah, she's in this shot here. She's in my shot. She's probably in your shot too.
Nice. Kiki's in everything.
Yeah, she's a Kiki.
Shaped back. It's so funny. She lays on her back like 18 hours a day. I've never seen a cat lay on her back.
I saw it when I came over here.
Yeah, she does it all the time. And so she had these huge dreadlocks and mats in her back.
Oh, okay.
So we bought her clippers.
Perfect.
And we've done a couple of shaving sessions.
She looks cool
like
it. That's all right. She looks cool like it.
Yeah, but she's so much more comfortable now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to mat yourself all up there, Kiki.
She has the thickest fur. I've never seen anything like it.
My cat, or my girlfriend's cat, is very similar. They're very similar creatures.
Yeah. Where's all my stuff?
How old do you know if Kiki was a...
She's just over a year at the vet. So we got her at like, I don't know, probably like 8 months. She was running around Plattsburgh in the freezing cold. Donovan called me up at like 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. I said, do you have, can you take this cat overnight, until, and bring it to the... Kiki, get out of the...
Oh, she's part of the show.
Bring her to the, wherever, the SPCA the next day. And I was looking for a cat anyway. It was just perfect. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting rid of this thing.
You got putty on the shirt here.
The shirt. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was going to wear my Tosh shirt.
Oh.
Put it on.
What is it? Well, you got your David Bowie shirt on, which is something that we wanted to talk about anyways today.
That works. But I do have. Did you see my Tosh 2.0 shirt? I'll show it to you later. It's like a drawing I did of Tosh as a cyborg.
Yeah.
And I printed on a shirt. I was
That's cool.
It's like, hey cutie, look at this. She's like, really? You gonna wear that? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear that.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that you got the David Bowie one on.
Yep.
That's a cool drawing that you did
Thanks, dude.
of the boaster,
Yeah,
the Starman.
Starman. That's what I called it. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good.
Doing really well.
Yes,
The
people seem to really like that one.
Yeah, I've sold a lot
Yeah.
of them, and a lot of. I made all the merchandise too. I've got like, I've got Bowie like hooded blankets, pillows.
So, I know that you've been doing well. Even the carpet right there is part of the Starman
Yep, that
series,
astronaut's from that drawing.
which is really awesome. I love that carpet, and obviously it's here in the shot, and we'll see it nice and good in the edit.
Yeah, especially if you shoot some B-roll of it.
Yeah, but how long did that one take you to make, that David Bowie drawing?
It was. I'm trying to think. It was a.
I remember you telling me back in the day that sometimes you work on a painting or a drawing for like sometimes 6 months, sometimes longer.
Yeah, and it's actually changed recently. Like, Bowie took me about a month,
Wow.
which is probably like 150 hours within that month,
Wow.
which is fast, which is actually pretty fast for me and for that size.
So that's like 30 hours a week, maybe 30, 69, 30, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. From the time I started sketching the astronaut until I completely finished it. Yeah, that makes about 30, 40 hours a week, yeah.
Some people play video games, you play art.
I play art, yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool, man.
And it's like, well, it's literally the only time that I'm not thinking about anything else. Like, my mind is racing constantly, and then as soon as I sit down at the drawing table, it's just like, zzz. It just gets into a mode. And
It's a coping mechanism.
it's that, yeah, it's a coping mechanism, and it's like a time warp too, because I'll think I'm drawing for like 10 minutes and it'll be hours. I'll think I'll take a break and thinking like it's been 10 minutes and it's been like 5 hours.
You were telling me the other day when you walk into your room that it's like a time warp or whatever.
Yeah, walking into the new studio, that's why I like it being more closed off than it was out here, because it is literally like walking into my mind and completely switching modes. Like, it's like meditation. Which is why I do it so much. And not just that I love it, but it literally is like meditation to me, and
Man, meditation is good.
mental.
What do you think about, do you meditate?
I need to again. I used to, and me and Tosh were doing it a lot. Actually, she got me into it. And then I started doing it like religiously and was getting really good at it. And then
Yep.
just fell off.
You ever watch any David Lynch movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mulholland Drive or Blue Velvet, but he's really into meditation.
Yeah.
Transcendental meditation.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Which he says he focuses on bliss. And then he's in bliss. He explains it a little bit
Better than that.
better than that,
Yeah.
but it's like, it seems really interesting. Like, it just seems like he's on another level of having fun with life.
Oh, Jesus. Am I going to go there now? I saw a clip on Flat Earth stuff again. And
Flat Earth, yeah.
yeah. Oh, God, I can't stand it.
I think it's hilarious.
It is funny. It's funny until you realize that
I think it's
people are
hilarious.
serious.
Well, that's what I think
Like, with
is.
all their soul, they're serious.
That's what I think is. I think it's cool for anyone to have crazy ideas because I find it funny. I've seen the UFOs,
Right.
but I haven't seen an actual like gray alien.
Yeah, you haven't. No, neither have I.
But
not
I've
up close,
definitely seen a UFO.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
I've seen a few.
Be cool to get Stephen Greer over here to start talking with us.
It's taken a lot of humans, a lot of really smart minds, so much thinking in order to create all the technology, in order to just even do a little podcast like this. But
Right.
hopefully it works.
And where do these jumps in technology come from?
You know, well, it could come from aliens.
Aliens.
You see patterns in nature, which is interesting. We use them in architect, like
Not
when you
Fibonacci.
yeah, like the Fibonacci or the golden ratio or
Fibonacci's crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's interesting that it appears in nature.
It appears in everything, almost everything in nature. For everything from like shells all the way up to hurricanes, galaxies.
Yeah,
Follow the same
all
pattern.
the way up and all the way down, infinitely.
Yeah, which I was watching something the other day, and I wish I could remember his name. Scientist.
So, do you believe in quantum mechanics?
Love quantum.
Theoretical
Super
physics.
Yeah, that's my.
So, theoretical physics,
Super
in
shit.
theoretical physics, if we live in an infinite universe, theoretically there could be a flat planet somewhere, correct?
Well, I mean, people
Just
would
not
probably
ours.
argue that like in a different
Because-
different physics where things don't form as spheres, because in our physics realm, like
Yeah,
they want like the shape that
Yeah.
they want to form is a sphere
yeah.
because of forces on everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there's different parts of the universe that behave differently with different physics than our own that we just don't even understand.
that we don't know. Yeah, I absolutely.
I
agree
mean,
with
like
this.
it's like kind of like an ant trying to understand what a human
Yeah.
is, or a cat trying to understand what a human is.
Yeah, we've definitely
And
not figured it all
there's
out.
so many levels to it. Like when I see those orbs flying around, like all I could think of is like we're the ants and they are us, you know.
Technology is.
And
yeah,
we could
ants.
never really begin to comprehend the next level of species.
No, like imagine how far we've gotten in like 500 years. Imagine a civilization that's 1,000 or 1,000,000 or a
Billion,
billion years ahead of us.
Yeah.
You can't even.
I have to be
start.
honest with you. I don't even necessarily think that a lot of the aliens are from. I think a lot of them are from here.
Yeah, a lot of them live in the inner Earth.
Yeah.
A lot of them are walking, like around.
Yeah.
Just-
So you believe in inner Earth?
I'm not really going there. I don't know where they live, but I 100%.
I seen them go down in the lake.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they definitely that's the newer thing, is that they're transmedium. They can go from space to our atmosphere to the underwater, all with frictionless.
Yeah.
Yeah, no G forces like inside the crafts. There's no. They just it bends. It's like fold the gravity engines
Yeah.
that run the craft. They bend space and time, and they actually like fold space and like, pull the craft from one point A to point B. You know, like that. And
That's how they move so quick.
that's what. Yeah, that's how they're just like bing, 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 like.
Bing, ding.
Yeah, there's no turn radius
Ding.
or anything. They're just 90-degree turns, like
Yeah.
at
Oh,
1,000 miles an hour, 100,000 miles an hour. It's nuts,
Super
man.
high tech.
It's nuts. I get lost thinking about how.
Russia's got some crazy shit going
Yeah,
on.
Russia.
Russia.
Have you heard of the book Interview with an Alien? Alien Interview, sorry.
No.
It's about this nurse. She was a nurse in 1947 at Roswell, and talks about the Roswell crash and how the surviving alien. She has a series of interviews that she does telepathically with the alien, which she describes. Well, the alien like describes herself as female, even though she's not biologically female, and she's telepathically telling her, because she's the only one that the alien will speak to, because she can read the minds of everyone else that's involved in the military and everyone, and doesn't want anything to do with them because they know that they have bad intentions. So she ends up only talking with this nurse that was on the scene of the crash, telling about the universe, telling about where humans came from, why we're here.
What do you say?
Basically, that we are. How do I sum this up? Jesus. Where humans are formless beings trapped basically in these shells, and that Earth is a prison planet for Isbies. They refer to them as Isbies in the interview, and the alien translates them as Isby. And So we are these Isbies trapped in these body, and from all over the universe, we're these formless entities that basically make up the universe, scattered throughout the universe. And Earth is a prison planet for those beings, for the ones that have broken universal laws and rules, and that pretty much. When you're born, when you die and you're born again.
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation is basically when you die, they're sent back up to the planet, where their minds are erased of that life, and they're sent right back down to another body. And it's just basically a cycle of punishment. Earth is a punishment. Which, when you start thinking about everything on this planet, you really can kind of parallel a lot of those ideas that, like, this place is a punishment for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like.
It's pretty hard, this life, you know, and some things are unquestionably just absolutely crazy the way they happen.
Yeah, I mean, in the fact that, it's basically billions of people who don't have much watching a handful of people who have everything. And if that's not torture for a lot of people, then
right,
and the problems that it causes for people mentally and
right. Yeah, it's very true, man. So no matter which way you look at it, it's still a prison.
Yeah.
Whether it's intergalactic or man-made.
Yeah, and I wish it was fresher in my mind, because there's some crazy ideas, like we're like parasites, every animal, everything's like a project for these interstellar beings that have no bodies. There's the biological bodies that we have, and then there's the middle, which is like a doll body, they call them, where they're not biological bodies, but they're basically forms that can be taken over and used as like mechanical forms. The doll bodies, they're not made of cells and stuff. They're actually like built. And
Politicians.
Right. And then there's the formless Isbies that are just basically a soul. What we would call a soul, anyway.
Yeah. Never read any of that in my science books.
Yeah, it's hard to find. I actually found it on Amazon. It's called Alien Interview, and people just think it's batshit crazy. But it's like, the more you listen to it, the more you're like, you know what? This shit makes sense. This shit makes so much sense that we're here and we're being punished. And we don't. Everything that we were before this, out there in the cosmos, like in the universe, was all erased. But we're all these beings from scattered all over the universe, and that's why it's such an eclectic, like, mass of people here on Earth.
Seems like
Supposedly
a
there's no
beautiful prison planet, though.
Yeah. I mean,
there's beauty.
There's definitely.
There's beauty.
There's a lot of beauty.
I wonder.
But
what the
supposedly most planets aren't so diverse.
Yeah.
With the people and the races and everything. That's why they're from all over the universe. That's why there's so many people.
Yeah.
Different types of people on this planet.
Yeah.
Because
all over the
prisoners from all over the universe.
Yeah. No, it's interesting stuff for sure. I find it very fascinating. I also just like thinking about my cat sometime.
Right, Kiki?
She's just chilling. I'm sitting here on the podcast. I got my putty shirt on that's busted wide open. Yeah. So.
You need to get you a new shirt.
Yeah, new Mind Feed shirt.
Yeah, we got tons now. Go ahead, were you going to say something? You breathe.
Yeah, no, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's fine.
What are your 5 most recent projects?
5. Well, it depends on if you want to count the little things as projects. Like, bigger ones would be...
Big ones.
Bowie. Then, right behind you is Pillars of Creation before that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking. And then before that was, thanks. Pan's Labyrinth, I did. And then, it's a smaller one. You're talking about 3D mandala?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a smaller one. I got obsessed with mandalas for like a week
and
drew that, and then got it out of my system. But that's really been good on clothes and shit. It like fits on everything, works on literally everything. And then there was, well, that's old. Then there was in the studio the big one, the Angels trumpets
Oh yeah,
with the
yeah.
fetus and the 3 skulls and the floating,
Yep.
the broken apart staircase. And
Yep. That's 4.
842
And
stars
then 5.
would be. See, Tosh would be really helpful right here. A big one before that. Fuck. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me. But I mean, I could actually just look in my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
But in between that, I did like
A bunch of little ones.
Rango.
I like that Rango one.
Yeah, I loved drawing that.
There's
That
a
was
couple that are
super
pretty
fun.
big that are less detailed that are pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll pull it up. I'll get it all in my mind in about 2 seconds.
I'm,
But yeah,
I'm blanking too.
I've done a lot this year, more this year than I've done in like the last 3 years combined.
Yeah.
Just this year.
Yeah. No, you've been killing it. That's for sure.
Oh, then there was a little Pinocchio thing. Then I did the gallery,
Oh, yeah,
which was
yeah,
all
yeah.
like the Easter Island, the
Yeah.
gallery and Moon Rocks, which is Easter Island and all these other like
Yep.
ancient statues and
Yep.
found what do you call them? Statues and monuments and like the pyramids, all that shit like combined, kind of like levitating on the moon.
Yeah, that one's super cool.
What else we got here? Oh, I did Tosh as a cyborg,
Yeah, that one's awesome.
and then the Tree of Life too. Oh,
Oh yeah.
the Breakfast Club, the Sphinx cat,
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Sphinx cat.
the
yeah.
Breakfast Club. That
Yeah.
one's more wacky,
That one's crazy.
super wacky, with the gas mask dragonfly and
Oh yeah.
the broken down biomechanical
How
frog.
big are those?
That one's only just above like 11 by 14. It's bigger than 11 by 14, but it's smaller than 18 by 24, and it's not 16 by 20. So I'm not 100% sure what size it is. But my favorite part in there is that mouse with the holding the hand grenade, with the backpack on,
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
with the bird skull helmet.
That's
It's,
super
like,
cool.
protecting it from the talons, like swooping
Mm-hmm.
into the frame from that giant bird coming down to eat everyone.
Yep.
And the plague mask snail. That shit's funny. I laughed a lot when I was drawing that.
That's super awesome.
And then the atomic bomb going off in the background. They literally, these UFOs and these crafts are, they materialize from other, like, I don't even think I'm saying it right, but elements from like other dimensions that are basically pulled from thin air. And boom, it's a one solid form. No fucking hammer and nails, no clicking, no screwing. Like there's no 90-degree angles. Everything flows into each other. All the walls and everything. It's like somebody took something and like a spaceman like melted it for a little while, like heated it up and melted the wax so that everything's like one smooth surface everywhere. Everything's connected.
This mind feed pillow right here. Look at that. He interdimensionally created it with his mind,
I did.
and now it's on a pillow. It took his hand. Little help with the hand, little help with the pencil.
But
But-
mostly it's just thought and
Thought hand.
thought and
Thought and.
thought and hand.
Thought and hand.
Pull very quickly, and in fact,
It could cover up my belly.
But I think
You
that it's
could
important to
use it for that.
understand that if you're just
I've seen a lot of that guy.
go just straight through space at the speed of light, even because the speed of light is too slow. And I remember when I was having dinner with
Speed of light is too slow, he says.
It is, but it's the way they travel.
Insightful question.
They travel through dimensions. They pretty much take shortcuts through other
If
dimensions.
they're traveling all over dimensions and galaxy, universe, yeah.
Oh, this is where he gets into like telepathic communication across the universe with thought, which is how they communicate, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is when
Tom DeLonge has
You know
made
Tom
several
DeLonge? Yeah.
recent tweets
he's
reiterating what he has said in many
Yeah,
past
he's
interviews
been right in
he's
it.
an
on
advocate for
shows
this for
like
years.
Coast to
Yeah,
Coast
Years.
AM,
but this is like
furthering
a
his
minute long. This is
argument
super
that
interesting.
Dealing with and understanding the UFO phenomenon is a multi-level chess game, which involves other countries that also have.
You saw the thing about the Malaysian flight that disappeared a few years
Remember
ago.
that one?
Well, now they found satellite footage of the plane, like with UFOs swarming around it right before it went missing. 3 of them circling around it, like Like they think it was, they had some car, they were saying there was some hidden cargo on it that they were transporting on the flight.
He says,
That they don't know if they were trying to get the cargo, but no one has said what it was
manipulate and control
on the Malaysia flight.
reactions.
But oh, dude, they have. I showed. Did you see the footage? Look, of them circling it right before. It's fucking nuts. It's real footage. It's not doctored or anything. It's. There we go. That's the Malaysia flight.
How scary and unnerving this is for those that have to deal with the reality of it daily.
You see it just disappear into a
Try and
fucking
keep
portal?
us at soccer games
Pretty wild
and
stuff.
unnerving this is.
Yeah, I mean, like the passenger plane. You know which one I'm talking. What's the flight number? What was the flight number? Malaysia flight.
I can't remember, but I remember very well.
One more time. See the top? This is infrared footage of the plane from the satellite.
Yeah, how scary and unnerving this is for those that have to deal with the reality of it
Right?
daily.
3 fucking crafts circling it, and then gone. Like that stuff is fucking wild. People don't take into account that like so many things could happen to us here that we have no idea about. We just like when we think of a problem, we think of a solution to a problem, we like only think of the things that we are used to and the things that we can explain as far as how things happen. But so much more beyond that fucking happens that we can't explain and we don't know about, but people just think it's fucking crazy or it's magic or it's like not real because their minds can't understand it.
Well,
So it must not be a thing.
imagine what other species must think about us. you
Yeah,
know?
it's
Like they,
pathetic. I hate
like,
being part of this whole thing.
just like it's so weird. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what they must think of us? Yeah, they like, look at these apes with nuclear weapons pointed at their own fucking planet.
I don't even know. Well, if they could think that, then they would be better than us. But I don't.
No, they,
I think they
they're
just.
far beyond that as far as thought. Like in the fact
Animals,
that they
you think?
created us to begin with.
No, I'm talking about animals.
Oh, you're talking about animals.
Yeah, I was talking
you're
about
still
like
going there. Okay.
ants,
Oh.
dogs, cats,
Right. I was talking about aliens think of us.
alligators.
Right.
No, I was
I don't
thinking.
know. Who knows what they can fucking think? I just saw a
They
thing.
could be aliens themselves, the cats.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing today about elephants and how elephants use medicine. Did you know that?
I've heard that elephants use medicine.
Yeah, they found these leaves that these tribes use for birth to help induce like childbirth when they're near having a baby. They found these elephants are using them for the same thing, collecting them and eating them right before they give birth,
That's smart.
and it's a medicine.
Have you ever seen that elephant that paints?
Yeah, crazy.
It's pretty legit, dude.
Yeah. So we think we're so dominant everywhere. Like, there's a lot more going on than we give credit for.
You know, some very smart mammals on this planet that aren't human,
Yeah.
like dolphins, and
Yep.
you know, they use sonar to communicate.
Yeah. Oh, and they were saying the elephants can communicate with each other by a low rumbling.
Yeah.
They use like a low vibration that they can communicate for miles with. Like, hey, there's water over here. Come here. You know, like
I've seen that.
wild.
I've seen that on National Geographic.
So interesting.
Man, imagine being a National Geographic photographer. Like living in the wild.
Right. That's a crazy job.
With fucking like tigers and lions and elephants.
Yeah,
And,
polar bear and shit. Like right outside your.
like,
Yeah.
and you're living in some sort of little hut that you've built, like, in the Antarctic, let's say. Like, you're there with your camera for
Months.
months, just waiting to get a picture of a frickin' penguin.
Right.
The perfect picture.
I know. What a crazy job.
I've seen some very good images, like camp video footage, nature,
Yeah.
filmed by the lovely folk at National Geographic. That's for sure.
The lovely. I like how your voice raised so high. They're like
The lovely folk.
throw in a commercial for it real quick. Do you know Bashar? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
Go ahead.
No, so if you don't know him, it's not. Do I have anything?
Bashar?
Bashar. He's this guy like he's a channeler, and he's since like the 80s he's been like channeling this I was telling you a little bit about earlier, this extraterrestrial, and basically explaining things about the universe and things about humans and where they come from and what consciousness is and how we're all connected and where we fit into everything and where extraterrestrials, like why like our relation to them and our relation to the universe basically, and everything. Like consciousness is like a.
Is he the one that explained about the prison planet theory?
No, that was the alien interview thing. That was the nurse that had the telepathic interview with the Roswell alien survivor. That shit is bonkers.
That shit's crazy.
Because I don't just believe everything blindly.
I've heard that, but that theory, that idea from.
You've heard the ISB thing before of this being a prison planet?
Yeah, the reincarnation thing, and
you should listen to it sometime. I've got it on audiobook. It's craziness. And the thing is like, I don't believe that it's made up. It's just like there's so much information in it that's not just creative, not like a fiction thing, but so much is fact just about our Earth and about the universe, things that like we don't even fucking know. So who, you know what I mean? Like things that a nurse at Roswell absolutely wouldn't know or make up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that is out in the open on Earth, like the pyramids and those great
pyramids. Now that's
those great huge halls and like those huge rocks that have built like just these huge smooth rock walls. I can't remember where the place was, but unbelievable precision.
Yeah. And the pyramids is the craziest of all the structures, because like, you know, there's like over 2 million blocks in there, and they're all like so many tons, you know, from 4 to like 80 tons blocks. And the precision, like you're off by like half a millimeter at the bottom. You're gonna have a spiral by the time you get to the top. You know what I mean? The precision it took it's funny. A lot of people still think it just took time and a bunch of slave labor, which is to me is like nuts. It took a really amazing
artist.
Well, it took something that we have no idea about. It took another type of technology, like the manipulation of sound waves or something to levitate the blocks. Some like a technology like that.
Sure.
Where this advanced with like coal and, you know, like engines and whatever we have. Well, whatever civilization back then took a completely different route, like manipulating, using sound waves and stuff like that to like as their technology. It took it so far. You know, like Younger Dryas theory.
What's that?
It's basically in a nutshell that we lost all that technology before us. There was another civilization thousands and thousands of years ago, far more advanced than we are or it will be for a while, and they were just wiped out by an asteroid collision. That's why there's no like remnants of their civilization or anything. But to think that we're like the first ones on this planet and the most advanced that's ever been here is crazy. Because there was other civilizations before us, not behind us, but way ahead of us.
They're still here, the ones in the orbs.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
You know.
But
you ever heard of the Richat structure?
No.
Check it out. It's where they think Atlantis was.
Atlantis? Oh yeah. Oh, I love the fucking Atlantis stuff.
It's on the outskirts of Africa.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side of Africa.
Okay, and what's it called again?
The Richat structure.
Richat.
It's this big round. I'll bring it up in the edit.
Did you see more recently the stuff about the pyramids? Sorry, I keep going back to the pyramids because there's just so much stuff.
No, it's all right.
But like how like Tesla studied the pyramids, and that's where he got his whole idea from, the 0 point energy, like pulling energy basically from, like they say there's enough energy in like a cup of water or a glass, like a teacup, to basically create enough energy to boil the oceans off of the entire world. That's how much. So like Tesla had studied the pyramids and basically said the pyramids were used as an energy source, like an antenna that pulled energy in from everywhere and created, that's what he wanted to do, create free energy for the world. And that's why he got killed. Because anyone who fucks with the oil industry, watch out, you don't want to fuck with the money. That's why we've had the technology for like gravity engines. We've had the technology like teleport technology. We've had the technology for 100 years. These black governments and these like behind the scenes people from the alien technology to like do away with hunger, poverty, everything for the last 100 years, but they've kept it hidden. so that they could keep
Why?
money and power. What's the reason for anything that people do in
Slavery.
the world? Money and power.
Slaves.
Slaves. Yeah, slaves. Humanity is slaves. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want that technology out. They don't want people living great lives. They don't want everyone being able to travel interstellar, like, have interstellar capabilities.
Why
They want
not?
everyone in control.
Yeah.
They want to keep everyone on this ball.
Those guys
this
are
ball.
assholes.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah. Well, I mean, this getting to a point now where if they don't come forward like legally the way they're trying to do right now, they're gonna go in and like take it by force all the UFO, all that technology, because they could just give up that technology that would save the Earth, literally save the planet. But they're just
Don't you? I think the
Taking off.
aliens are trying to save the planet. Like they shut down a lot of the nukes.
they do they supposedly they keep an eye. They don't want us. They don't want the planet to get hurt. They don't want us to get hurt. They don't want us to kill ourselves and each other, like on a global scale, and
Yeah.
they don't want the Earth to get hit by like a meteor or an asteroid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're supposedly like, in a way, they're like guarding this
Yeah.
because they were like their little experiment,
Yeah.
and they're watching us grow and they're watching us turn
We're
into a
like
bunch
an
of
ant
assholes.
farm.
Yeah.
They probably don't think we're assholes.
Well, I don't know if they have that word, but there's got to be a word.
Yeah, they're like,
That's
the
alien for
natives are a little
assholes.
racist.
The natives, yeah. They found a monkey. They're like, oh, let's take some of my DNA, put it in this fucking primate, and there goes the human race.
Yeah.
Supposedly, like if they hadn't intervened and put us on the path to where we are now, we would have taken the path and become Sasquatch.
Sure.
Humanity would have, from where we were at, if they wouldn't have like spliced their genes into our.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we'd be Sasquatch. That's where humanity was headed. So I'm psyched on the aliens.
I always believed that we were the aliens.
Yeah, we are. We got their DNA.
Like, there's just certain things that don't add up, like having to wipe your ass.
Yeah, that's the
There's no
downfall
other,
of a biological body.
There's no other species on the planet that has to wipe its ass.
Yeah, but it's kind of gross.
But
you
why
don't.
do we have to wipe? No. Their shit.
You mean it just cuts off and there's nothing
cuts
to
off
wipe?
and there's nothing to wipe
We're
there.
sloppier. We're sloppier
Why?
animals. I don't know. I can't answer that one. That is a question for the ages.
I mean, why are we the only species on the planet that has to wipe our own ass?
Our own. Now
Well,
you're getting
just
into
wipe
our
our
own
asses.
in general. I don't know, but aliens are like have atrophied. They don't even have intestines. They absorb nutrients and protein and everything through their skin and then excrete it through their right back out.
Slime.
That's where the cow mutilations and stuff are a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Where they just
they wipe the
suck
cow
it-
blood and like.
they suck it all out of the cow.
Well, they just
So how they get
literally
their
put it on their
nutrients.
skin, and it absorbs all the nutrients they need are absorbed through the skin, and then excreted through the skin. There's no eating.
Like blood or something.
Yeah, through blood,
They'll
through
just
whatever
cover
holds
their skin
any.
in blood and then
Yeah,
it just
proteins
absorbs.
or nutrients, whatever holds
And
it.
then they excrete the waste.
Yeah.
They gotta stink.
You know what? You would think by that time they would have figured that problem out.
Probably.
Some sort
But
of.
Maybe they don't care.
They might not care,
'Cause
but
they
they're
might
in
not- they
pretty
might
close
not have-
quarters in those UFOs too. You would think that
They might not have
they
noses.
don't really have the whole smell thing either.
They might not have noses. They only got 2 little ports there that are like.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about noses or smelling in aliens. Maybe they do stink and they just don't know it.
That's what. Imagine that.
Imagine.
Imagine being.
We meet them for the first time. We go to shake hands. We're like, whoo!
Billions and trillions of years advanced. They're like, all right, we'll go say hello finally.
Yeah.
And they just fucking rank.
Reek, yeah.
Like they just. Oh man.
Well, there's the other thing that like the gray aliens. The grays are the future of humans. Are like the humans way in the future
Yeah.
that have like
I've heard that.
gotten to a point where they've lost their humanity and they can't reproduce anymore because they've taken the technological route so far that they've forgotten about the emotions and
Yeah,
love
they're
and
time travelers.
reproducing that too. But then they came back to they time traveled to Earth and another version of Earth,
Yeah.
which is what we are back when our genes were still good, and that's where the abductions come in and shit because they're trying to splice our genes back in with them so they can become human
So they can-
again, so they can
yeah.
reproduce and further their.
So maybe that lady that was screaming, "He's not fucking real" on the plane.
Yeah, that was some. Yeah, that honestly, man, I don't know. She didn't look like a crazy person, but she looked like she was put together well. She wasn't all disheveled and like stuttering and.
I know when a woman sees something that don't make sense and she start talking and yelling about it, and that was the sound that she was making.
Yeah, she was disturbed about something. Who knows if she bumped into a shapeshifter on the plane. That's what a lot of people are saying, which who knows. Everyone, the easiest thing to say is that she's just fucking crazy and she was drunk, but that's so boring and so not all it could be.
There was another person on the plane who described seeing the guy, and he was like just staring at her blankly for a while, and he was messing with the lady, she said. And then all of a sudden he said that the guy
winked
looked
at
him. He winked at him.
With a
said was, yeah.
vertical wink. But then I heard that guy that was talking about that was fucking doing that for likes. He made the story up.
It doesn't surprise me.
I know. And then the guy was supposedly the guy in the hoodie, came out and did a video saying he was the guy in the hoodie, and it was all bullshit. And it's just, you can't. So many people like grab onto each story and like make it their own so that they can get social media credibility and like attention, that the truth is just gone with a matter of days. Like,
yeah. It's like a big game of telephone, which is, in my opinion, the game of humanity. You know, that's why we don't really understand what happened back in the day with the pyramids, and because eventually over time it's just the information just gets watered down,
muddled and then erased.
down,
Yeah.
stomped on, rolled over, and then somebody else wins and says, "Oh, you lost."
Yeah.
And you don't get any of that history.
Yeah. Well, it was like you said the pyramid thing, but the Sphinx. The Sphinx is supposedly like was found by the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, that stuff wasn't built by
I've definitely
when
seen.
we thought it was, because there's a lot of water erosion on the Sphinx.
Yeah.
And the last time it rained in that part of the world was like rained like that, like flood rains that would erode the Sphinx the way it is, was like 10,000 years ago.
Which is when it was flourishing back then. And I see, this is my opinion on all that, is one of my theories is that whole area was just completely vibrant, green, lush jungle.
Yeah, the world is it's
Yeah.
changed so much. Like
There's stuff hidden underneath the Sahara.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure.
You
I'm
know?
sure, just like the stuff hidden underneath the ice caps.
Yeah.
Like civilizations,
Yeah.
and these used to be forests.
Yeah.
And crazy like rainforests.
So if you look at the Sahara, the spot, the Rishat structure, and you'll have to check it out. It's on like the bottom left-hand corner of the Sahara Desert.
Okay.
Over
who knows
on
what's
the
underneath that
east,
shit.
or over on the west coast of Africa.
Yeah. It's like the rainforest too
Very
that they're finding
interesting.
now. That they're uncovering parts of the Amazon rainforest and finding these lost civilizations that they thought were never there. Like scanning. Now they're scanning them with like new technologies that scan with like with sound waves and light waves and stuff, and they're finding
I've seen a lot of that.
crazy these crazy structures and stuff in the forest where they thought
Millions
humans
of
could
people.
never survive ever.
Millions of people live there because the forests weren't there like that.
No, they weren't there, exactly.
It wasn't.
Just to think about what was in different parts of the earth in different times, and the earth's like history is.
Yeah, as far as.
It wasn't just like, it was just like paramecium, and then the dinosaurs, and then humans.
Yeah.
It's like that's not what it was.
No, it's evolution over time and lots of changes and.
Yeah, even if our evolution isn't as Darwin said it was, which is a very high possibility that evolution didn't happen that way. Even though I'm a true believer in evolution and in survival of the fittest and stuff, but like, if we were in fact like genetically manipulated to become who we are, then that whole theory is kind of out the window, and maybe just a smaller section of it.
In some ways,
it still happens.
Evolution, because you're evolving species. You're evolving something from.
It keeps happening, but I'm just saying, as far as like as far back as like how we started, I think that part could be off.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, it's a big game of telephone, but somehow shit's changed over time. You know,